My name is Chucky, and welcome to A Legionary's Life. It is a text-based game that I've been playing a lot. Wow, that music is insanely loud for me. We'll turn that down. Uh, there you go. But essentially, it is a game, as the title says. We are a Roman soldier that is at the lowest rank possible. We are nothing. We're essentially a simple peasant who has joined the Roman forces. This game is completely text based. There's some like minor pictures, but otherwise nothing of true interest. Looking wise, it's not interesting, but the game itself, I love. And it's been out for a little bit. The game, if I remember correctly, we can check real quickly. You probably are not hearing sound anymore, but it came out in 2019 on the 25th of September. So it it's got a little aged into it. It didn't. I don't really think it picked up much popularity, but I remember seeing it on the Steam store. It was on sale, and I love it. I like this game. I like the fact that I get to like do this stuff. Obviously, we do a quick roll for the starting of your first character, which I've played 20 times total. As it all depends how long you live for. As soon as you die, the game is over, and you start over again. There's no save. It only saves while you're still alive. So if you went through like a whole battle and you lived, you can save the game and leave. But if you die, that save is wiped from the game and you start all over again. Which I love these kind of games. They're really fun. And when you create your character, you can have an emphasis on physical, balanced, or mental. Mental can help you with certain other activities with your troops or your Centurion or even like the one of the lords. We actually click on these and it'll tell you. Strength has a direct influence on the damage you deal. Endurance allows you to fight to the best of your abilities for longer. Constitution determines your capacity to absorb damage, represented by health points, and quickness makes you act more frequently in combat. Coordination helps you recover faster and more effectively when you lose stance. You have these three, which is charisma, represents your social skills and personal magnetism. Awareness measures how sharp your senses and instinct are. It's also used in combat when attempting or resisting feints. Intellect represents your logic, decision making, problem solving skills, and education. So obviously the awareness helps you in combat because there's a thing where characters can enemies will sort of feint their attack, which you know what feinting is. It's basically trying to make your opponent think you're gonna attack in that direction and make them obviously swing or block in a certain direction, so then you gain an opening. That's what a feint is. Otherwise, some of these are also used in like certain dialogue situations. Like sometimes there's one where you can get into like a bear wrestling contest. Like you get into like a wrestling contest with another soldier, and there's certain things you can do, but if you don't have the strength or the endurance for it, you're just not going to be good at it. So obviously, we want to roll. You can just go baseline, but I always like to roll. I like the fact that we could be really crap at something, but we can also be really good at something. And I think we're gonna roll for a balanced. We'll do. Let's see. I just rolled once, so let's do five more. So I'll have six total. Two, three, four, five. Boom. Actually, there you go. It's five. We'll start off with this. So we have really bad constitution. So we have a low health pool. So we're gonna want to play defensively, and nothing else really changed. But luckily, when we continue here, we'll just keep my name. Um, we have points. Now you get more points depending on how well you did in your past life. That's how points work. So I think baseline is 200, and anything beyond that is added from your past life. So if you did really well in your past life and you finally died, all those points you get from that past life, which it counts by the amount of kills you got, whether it was shared or solo, and what deeds you did. Like if you earned any awards, they add points to your thing, and then that adds to your next character. If it goes well, obviously that one too. So we always want to increase our constitution, but not by too much. We don't waste all of our points because I also want to use this for a better gladius. Let's say a better helmet and a better shirt. And then the rest of these points we have 25, 28, so we can upgrade one of these. Blah, blah, blah. Well, let's see. Actually, our charisma's pretty up there, but let's upgrade our quickness. And with the last three, we can just give ourselves three denarii, and we're done. The first war lasted for over 20 years. Conflict had been only a matter of time. Once the restlessness expansion of Rome came close to the huge Carthaginian sphere of influence, a young power propelled by a staggering self confidence. Rome had most of the Italic peninsula under its control at the time. On the other side was the Punic city of Carthage, a centuries old naval colossal dominating the western Great Sea. An insurmountable gap in power and prestige seemed to divide the two cities. Unexpectedly, the Roman Republic emerged victorious, incomplete as the victory was. Building upon its success, the city's maritime territory grew larger and more secure, while humiliating conditions well beyond the actual extent of the defeat were imposed upon Carthage. Nevertheless, the price was tremendous for both parties. Some say that not even Alexander's conquest devoured so many lives. It all paled compared to what was to come. The truce that followed lasted for a generation. You were a child when the situation hovered on the brink of war once again. You still remember the talk in Rome back then, when everyone expected the looming conflict to take place in the distant colonies of Hispania. To the west, now that an attack by sea was nigh impossible. The astonishment when the news reached the city is still fresh in your memory. A bold, not yet 30, Carthaginian general named Hannibal Barca had led an army through the lands of the fierce Gauls and across the mountains to the north. The war was here in Italia, a few hundred miles from Rome itself. The following years were marked by growing panic as reports of whole armies annihilated by Hannibal kept coming. The Punic general was stronger, smarter than anything Rome had ever faced before. Yet his attempt to turn the Italic allies on the Republic was unsuccessful. Defeating him in a pitched battle was beyond the realms of possibility. That much was clear to the Romans. At the same time, he could not lay siege to the capital. The conflict turned into an endless war of attrition. Meanwhile, another war was being fought in faraway Hispania, crucial to prevent reinforcements from joining Hannibal. About a year ago, the Roman legions were soundly defeated, and their commanders, Proconsul Publius Cornelius Scipio and his brother Ganius, were killed. What little remained of the army was now controlling a small patch of land even after reinforcements joined the survivors. The situation looked more desperate than ever. When the Centurion assembly had to appoint a new proconsul, only Scipio's son, a young man still in his 20s, stepped forward. No one else wished to take on such a hopeless assignment. You, on the other hand, had no choice at all. Right after you had become of age, you were enrolled in a freshly raised legion, part of a second 11,000 strong reinforcement bound to accompany the new proconsul. After a brief training period, you embarked on a long journey to Hispania. So essentially, we were essentially drafted into the military because of how terrifying this guy was, and the fact that we lost such a great general. I mean, now we have this kid who's 20. You have to imagine things too, like about that is like people who are even in their 20s. No one trusted a 20-year-old. even like today, no one really trusts a 20-year-old because like they're still very young. Like I am now 19, so I mean, I cannot be trustworthy. Like if you gave me an army to lead, I've put a lot of strategy games, so I think I would know what I'm doing. But at the same time, I would know the men's morale would not be happy. Like really, we're gonna let this guy, a kid, lead us? Like people do prefer an older person as they seem more wiser and they might have more knowledge. I'm not sure why I went on that rant, but anyways, apparently with the not now you've reached your destination and joined what is left of the previous army. Apparently, with the Romans out of the picture, the Carthaginians have divided into three large hosts, each of them at least as big as your current force. They are a long way from your headquarters, committed to securing the whole region. So far away from your home that you can hardly comprehend the distance. With little to no chance of ever seeing your family again, deprived of most of the rights you held as a civilian, You feel strangely calm as you prepare to face the hardships to come. And we're now on part one. So this is our homing area. Like this, if you see this menu, you are safe. This is where we train, where we work out, where we can buy and sell better equipment, where we can leisure to release some stress and gain some morale. Virtue is telling you like how much of a good person you are. So this goes down, you're a bad person. This goes up, you're a good person. Opinions, you have your troops, which are your fellow man, are your fellow soldier. A centurion, who is like a high-ranking officer, and then of course our new general. Now, we also paid for a better gladius shirt and hat, so we have a bit more armor. We don't have these. I forget what you call them. I'm gonna call them leg gauntlets, but those are good. Our arms, groin, and legs are like weak spots. So if an enemy hits us, that's gonna do the most damage. Anywhere else in our body, we are pretty safe. I do want to get a shirt that will actually protect the torso and groin because that would be more preferred than just the torso. And we do want to get some leg plating for our legs. We have right now we have 65 gold, so we can go see if people are selling one. They are, but it's not in our budget, which sucks. So we cannot do that. And once you leave, by the way, this is now gone. You have to research all over again. That's the beauty of this game. So training. In training, you can do these two most likely, or any one. What this does is you can train your javelin throwing and your solo, which is your sword practicing. I remember correctly, you can in your sparring, you can focus on a more defensive route, and if you do sparring with anyone good or best, you will increase your shielding skill, like how well you use a shield right here. Which as of right now, we're not good at really any of these. We're just kind of here. Our lowest skill is our awareness, so we're not very aware of our surroundings. We can increase that more quickly in our workout. I think it's constitution, coordination. No, we cannot. Okay, maybe it's like a life thing, or there's certain things that you can increase that I know you can. There's our deeds, awards you might gain, vanquish enemies. And that's I mean that's pretty much it. You can also do miss. You can offer a sacrifice. It's rather expensive. The lower your intellect, the higher the chance of getting a large morale boost rather than a modest one. More than once per part, so you only use this once per part. So obviously you want to be like a dumb as rocks kind of guy in order to be doing that, because the whole point is that it's your religion, so you want to do that type of stuff. Extra coaching, extra guarding, extra patrolling. That's good for increasing your troops and centurion's opinions. That's one of the things you can do to help out with with opinions. But otherwise, in the early game, you want to focus on yourself. There are times where you can like go out if you're confident and you hope that you roll correct. So like we can increase our quickness and endurance, do some more endurance right there, and we get some strength. This too, by the way, when you exercise too much, this bar will increase. Different colors show how different levels of stress. You will slowly lose morale when your stress is too high. And worked out as part of your routine in order to maintain your combat skills in shape. The exercise you select are extra training and workout sessions, used to bring your skills and physical prowess beyond their current levels. You can use these main groups of exercise, javelin, melee, workout a couple of times before each main event with no consequence on stress. If you exercise 5 times in the same group with no improvements, further failures will build up your stress faster than normal level by using your spare time for activities not related to exercise. Yeah. So if I were to keep spamming the swim button, if I don't see like you improved coordination or endurance, more stress will build up. It's like we can do more quickness and endurance. We can do some coordination, do some more constitution. We've gotten to that point now. We can a little bit of a morale a little crappy morale. So just hang around a little bit. Oh, look at that. We improve some stuff. We see, look at that. We're decreasing it. We increase our morale. Now we can go back to working out. Maybe let's do some training on our sword and some javelin. We'll just kind of go back and forth between them. Now our time was I didn't even notice it, but we have our time left, so that was over. So you only have a little amount of time in the camp, and then stuff will happen. So this one is just a random event. You're stuck with an especially aggressive sparring partner this morning. Echius has been here in Hispania since long before your arrival. He is one of the survivors of last year's debacle. His blade has come dangerously close to your throat twice already. Even a wooden practice sword can be lethal when it's used like that. You can complain, but that can really decrease some stuff. You can attempt a spectacular counter strike, but we're not skilled enough for that. We're just gonna keep going. And he hits us. Wow, that took a bit of a beating off us. So we took some health, but luckily we're in the camp still, so we'll heal that right back up. Do some. Oh, see right there. We didn't really improve that much. Oop, another random event. You are on guard when you hear a strange noise. Let's investigate. We didn't see. Our morale is decreased by 3. Usually, if you figure it out, it's an owl. That's what it is. There you go. We're of course gaining more. Sometimes sometimes you just have to deal with the fact you might lose some morale. You also play some dice. You can gain Denari, but as you can see, our now things move. No, we must now move on. The camp bursts into activity as the whole army prepares to leave. You march to the south. It doesn't take long for your destination to become apparent. You are bound for New Carthage, the capital of the Carthaginian colonies here in Hispania. It's a daring move and very risky. Several days later, you reach your destination and set up camp not far from the city. According to the camp talk, the closest enemy army is about 10 days march from here. A large siege is out of question. You'll have to take New Carthage by storm. You cast a glance at the city walls, strong stone walls. The thought of fighting your way up there makes your stomach churn. It's hard to not think that you may be looking at the place where your days will end. Again, remember we are like a very young person, and we're just thrown into this battle. We're gonna press continue. The next morning, your maniple is among the first to move out of the camp and reach the plain right in front of the city. If what your Centurion said is true, the garrison of New Carthage consists of a small mercenary army, possibly 1,000 strong, and of course, the city militia. You are taking your place on the battlefield when all of a sudden cries of alarm rise from the ranks. You look ahead with a start. The city gate is wide open. A screaming mass, numbering thousands, leaves the safety of the walls, quickly closing the gap with your partially deployed first line. Judging by their scant equipment, they must be the militia. The enemy commander wouldn't risk his precious mercenaries like this. Blood pounding in your ears, you get ready to have received them as the first battle of your life engulfs you. This happens every time. It's just the game to like give you an easy start at first. It's an easy battle. So people who aren't it's easy battle. It's just to get you kind of into the zone of the game. This is the one thing I was talking about was the javelin throw. Most in every battle, you have 2 javelins. You get to throw one in these dialogues. Now, like I said, you can just throw it into an enemy rank, and you don't know if you'll hit anything, but it could do something. Or you can try to pick up a specific target, and if you do hit somebody, you get a likable opinion by I think it's your Centurion and the troops. If you don't, it's oh well. But we're gonna try it anyways. You take aim at one of the enemy soldiers and hurl your javelin. We failed. Oh, it was actually really bad. It was such a bad throw that the troops are like, oh, this guy's an idiot. And this is the combat. This is all it is. Now, if we're going to second javelin, if you do this, you increase your attack bonus, but you're less at defensive, so he gets a bit easier time hitting you. But we also, he's not close to us yet, so we're going to just throw the javelin at him. Oh, actually even tells you right here. So we're going to try to throw it. Ooh, we hit him. Now, he is militia, so I'm pretty confident in keeping this up. If he does hit us, it's not going to do much damage. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go for a feint, because we want to get that stamina down. He knocked us, so we're gonna bump that down real quick. We're gonna try to recover. Boom, recovered. He missed, and it was really bad for him. Let's see if we can knock him. Ooh, we didn't knock him. He missed again. We're gonna recover. Let's attack his torso. There you go. He missed. Let's knock him. There you go. He's gonna recover. He failed. Let's go for a soft spot like the neck. There you go. And let's attack his torso. That's our first guy. We killed our first man. You can see we get some likable opinion from our Centurion and troops, and we get some morale for the fact we killed our own person. So when you kill your first person in this first battle, there's not a pop-up, but in the second time, if you do kill him, you get a pop-up saying like, how do you feel that you've killed your person? You can feel pity, or you can feel like elevated, like you're like, yeah, I killed that fucker. I don't feel bad for him. Fuck that guy. You get to like build your character, and I love that about games. I like games like this. I'm a D&D guy. I like RPG games. I like games where I can choose stuff. That's why I like this game. I like the fact that I can choose. which I've always thought about doing. I always thought about getting Baldur's Gate, but they don't talk, and I like how our characters can talk back with one another. In that game, they don't. Let's see here. Militiamen, because so usually, I think it goes up to round 20 and then it's over. It'll end. But if you do kill one, another one will come and replace them. So we can attack his torso. There you go. He missed. Let's feint him. We failed it. He failed his thing. Let's do another normal. There you go. He failed. We're gonna attack his groin. There you go. Toggle the damage. Let's go for the neck. Ooh, and then we'll go for his torso. Oh, we got 2 kills in one go. Oh my god, I wasn't ready for that. Another militia takes his place. Let's try to let's see. Let's attack his torso. He failed. Let's go for a quick feint. Failed once again. Let's go for his torso. He failed. Let's do a normal feint. Failed. That's fine. Attack his torso. It's actually still going for some reason. Now it's going to be over. Yep. We almost killed him, but he's seriously wounded, so we get more likable opinion. Again, we did really. That was really good. I've never actually been able to get. I was never in time to get 2 kills. You barely have time to think about your first kill. 2 kills actually. I've read it so many times. I'm so used to skipping, so my bad. But it was just telling us that we finally get to the wall, because now the next thing's gonna happen is our Centurion. We're just gonna skip all this. So our Centurion, we have ladders propped up on the city walls, right? Our Centurion is now promising us whoever's the first to get over there, he'll reward us greatly. This is one of these random events we can get. We can stay back, which, hey, that's fine. Or we can go and do our best. Now, what happens, I won't say, because we'll let y'all figure it out. Because I always go for this either way. So do we pass? We do not. So what happens is if you we might have just died. We are dead. I've never seen it do 30 damage. Wow, that sucks. But essentially what happens is if you stumble, you have another thing where if your defense is good, you can not take damage. If you pass, you get a handsome reward, but we sadly failed and we died. So, we reached 13th place. Guess what? We do it again. That's all this game is. I think, yeah, we'll leave it here anyways. But it's just a game I wanted to show you guys, and I'll probably like make random videos on it every now and then, not like a series thing, but just like every now and then, like, hey, look, another video on this game and see how I'm doing. I don't know. It's just a nice game. It's a game I like playing in my pastime. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this game. I'll put the game in the link description below. It's a game I have on Steam, so I'll put the link in the description below. And yeah. I'm signing off. Ciao for now.